Hello everyone. Today I'm going to be going over an article in the RICS Building Surveying Journal on fire safety. I thought it was a really good article with some great links, which is why I'm looking to share it with you today. The Building Surveying Journal often has some great articles. They're not only relevant to the building surveyors, but can also be applicable to a wide variety of building professionals. This particular article, in the March to April edition of the journal, relates to fire safety. The article is called Fire Drill, written by Anthony Taylor and Richard Edwards. The aim of the article is to offer a detailed rundown of the roles and responsibilities for ensuring fire safety, becoming especially pertinent following the horrific Grenfell fire. I'm going to go through the basics of this article, highlighting a few interesting points and looking at the website links which take us down the rabbit hole of fire safety. So before 2006, various buildings were required to be inspected by the local fire brigade before being allowed to operate. This system was replaced with the Regulatory Reform Order in 2005 in England and Wales, and with similar legislation in Scotland and Northern Ireland. This passed the duty holder responsibilities for fire safety management onto owners and employers. There are a number of issues that could affect the fire integrity of a building, some of them being the likes of refurbishments, removal of asbestos, lack of fire stopping, and importantly, inappropriate cladding. The article goes on to talk about compartmentalisation. Compartmentalisation is really important in restricting fire growth. This has also led to the development of stay-put policies, which turned out to be fatal in the Grenfell Tower fire. The theory of a stay-put policy is for occupants to safely stay within the dwelling until the fire brigade can safely extinguish the blaze or carry out a rescue under controlled conditions. The effectiveness of this depends on the integrity of the compartments and other safety measures. There's a few website links in this article. The first is in relation to fire doors, and it takes you through to the website here. It's a very detailed website which goes through all the specifics of fire doors, from identification to specifying smoke and fire seals. And there's some really good info on this site. A part in particular that caught my eye was the offer for free gap gauges from a site called SafeLinks. This site sells all types of fire safety equipment. The section that really interested me, however, was the help and advice page. At the bottom right, you can see there's a link to fire safety guides written by the government. These are guides based on the type of premises being assessed. The one which is most pertinent to my line of work is the Fire Risk Assessment Guide for Sleeping Accommodation. This is quite an extensive document which is well worth a read, but the reason I like it is because they have handy checklists which you can cross-reference with your own fire risk assessments to see if there's any areas you may not have considered. So if you look through here, it describes what a fire risk assessment is and the 5 steps in carrying out a fire risk assessment. So you can see here one of the checklists, and every section has its own checklist as you go through the document. It's really quite good that you can go through, look at the checklist, cross-reference it, go to the next section, look at the checklist and cross-reference it. So for that reason, I felt it was quite a handy tool. The next link in the article takes you through to this site, which is a company which offers maintenance schedules to help you deliver an effective maintenance regime. They have a few different options here. I can see this being useful for the likes of facilities managers for large complex buildings. The next link in the article takes you through to the RICS website, where they offer a guidance note. The guidance note covers a full gambit of health and safety for residential property managers. It covers all aspects of health and safety, which fire forms just a part of. You can download this document free of charge. The guidance note, to be honest, is more of a catch-all document, So if you're looking for something specific to fire safety, this probably isn't the one for you. That takes us to the last website link of this article. So the last link takes you through to the fire strategy document called PAS 911-2007. It's to do with formulating strategies to manage fire safety. This document, as you can see from the contents page here, it goes really in depth into fire strategies. I would personally recommend looking at PAS 79-2012, which is a guidance and recommended methodology for carrying out fire risk assessments. This gives a 9-step procedure which has a twofold objective of identifying hazards and examining the likelihood of fire occurring along with the subsequent consequences. Moving on to the last part of the article. The final part of the article has a handy diagram which shows you where all the constituent parts fit in, and then it goes on to speak about the fire risk assessment itself. It briefly outlines who should be carrying out the assessment and how often. Well, thank you very much for watching this video. As mentioned at the start, it was only a brief overview of the article. Hopefully I've shown by reading an article it can take you down all sorts of avenues, and reading them online can take you down the rabbit hole of interesting websites. I've created this YouTube channel called The Maintenance Corner, where I plan to post some drone videos, article reviews and other points of interest in the maintenance world. So if that interests you, please feel free to subscribe. Thanks, bye bye.